Yo, now everybody heard this before. Let's go back into this. Now, the FBI released a file saying that McDonald's was human meat. Everybody heard that and said, yo, that's fake news. Okay. Is that not what um Donald Trump used to always say to get away with shit that everybody know he said? Fake news, even though it was facts that he said shit. But anyway, watch this. You ever heard of Operation Mockingbird? Operation Mockingbird started in 1952, was started by the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, to cover up a lot of stories that the media was leaking about what the government been doing. So since this story was on social media to begin with, that would mean the CIA's involvement to cover it up and call it fake news to begin with, proving the whole thing to be reality. Fake. And then you gotta think about the fact that Black, Hispanic, Native, Indigenous children are getting kidnapped at a large scale. Well, where do you think they go? Why do you think they never find them? Because they grind it up at a meat grinder in one of McDonald's factories and sold to people. You eat the evidence. And that's a fucking fact. And then I know people gonna say, well, dog, I thought cannabis was illegal. Look it up. It ain't illegal. It never was illegal in any country. It's illegal to kill somebody, true, but it's not against the law to eat somebody. And they left it like that trickily to fuck with people's minds, you know what I'm saying, so they could get over and let people get eaten at these McDonald's. Not to mention an Ashkenazi Jew even confirmed the whole thing and said that McDonald's is one of his favorite outlets. And how the Ashkenazis been eating people for thousands of years before McDonald's was ever created. You did? So when people sit back and say, well, if McDonald's is might possibly be human meat, which I'm trying to tell you factually it is, why would you feed that to your kids? And then when you go to McDonald's, they got Happy Meals for your children. That's a sad meal because they're feeding children to children and children to adults. Now the Bible talk about the son will eat the father. The saying represent the saying the chat the people going to eat people. People going to eat people. They've been eating people for generations, like since the beginning of time, dog. It's not like it's put it this way. Watch this. Have you ever heard of Jane? Jane and so forth was an indentured servant, alias what you consider as a slave, that was eaten during a time of financial poverty in America, in Virginia. The remains of Jane were found in Virginia, and they're on display currently at the Smithsonian in DC. She was eaten. Also, and when you do research about slavery, you'll find out that we was a food source. They used to eat us. You don't believe it? Ask about Nat Turner. When they caught Nat Turner after the slave rebellion, they boiled him down into grease and was selling his body. It was selling his grease they made out of him, and it was called Nat Turner's grease. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of slaves were eaten. You'll find, if you actually do some research, you'll find out that a lot of slaves were eaten. Meaning that America been eating, literally actually eating, you know what I'm saying, people. Kind of probably the reason why Tupac has said America eats its babies. He meant that shit because America does. Facts.